two, 1 2, 1 2.
Yes, I'm content.
taken by us in our initial statement that was read out by the Secretary General on day one of this NEC meeting, that one of the areas that this NEC is focusing on are measures to combat crime, but we actually wanted to really zone in on the matter of the illegal mining and the phenomenon of zamazamas. I am here joined by the two strikers within the ANC environment. To my right, Comrade Polly Bushielo, who is the chairperson of our NEC subcommittee that is responsible for overseeing the actions and efforts that we must put in place to address this particular matter. And of course, she will address you in just a moment. And to my left, Ndosi is obviously well known to yourself with a hat, and the Minister of Police deployed in that capacity, but also a member of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. So thank you very much for being here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to then ask the chair to make introductory comments, after which she will then hand over to Comrade Ndosi. Thank you very much. You can come this side, Comrade Polly.
Thank you very much, Comrade Matlengi. Let me take this opportunity to greet Comrade Becky, our ANC NEC deploying government as the Minister of Police, and also you members of the media. As the ANC, we are a listening party, but also a listening government. And we have heard concerns from our people about the unacceptable high levels of crime that includes lawlessness, extreme violence, economic sabotage, disregard for the rule of law, and serious crimes to undermine the state, including illegal immigrants that are involved in crimes. As Peace and Stability Subcommittee of the ANC, we are working in a very integrated manner that includes the South African Police Services, as you see the Minister here, the South African National Defence Force and Military Veterans, Home Affairs, State Security Agency, Justice, Constitutional Affairs and Correctional Services, and also international relations and cooperative governments. This indicates that as Peace and Stability Subcommittee, we are working in an integrated and coordinated manner to combat crime and also to protect our country and maintain stability. Today, myself and Comrade Becky are going to present to the NEC about illegal mining, the zamazamas, which is a thorn in terms of crime, also the violent crimes, what are we doing to combat it, including Operation Chanela and involvement of civil society in fighting crimes. In terms of Operation Chanela, it's based on 5 pillars that Comrade Beck will be able to explain, but it's what you see as Operation Okai Molao, but at a higher scale, where we do your regular stop and search and vehicle checkpoints, roadblock, and all others that Comrade will be able to do that. But also, we are integrating with the South African National Defence Force in terms of securing our borders. Yeah, you have heard that we got problem with illegal immigrants, and for sure you know that in the past week, we have launched the Border Management Agency with the President at Musina, so that those are some of the steps that we are taking to ensure that we do that. We also involve the national and provincial traffic officers, Metro Police, Department of Transport, Environment Department, and others. But also as the ANC, we are much involved at the community level with community policing forums and community patrollers. And we have brought along also the private security services and business forums. So as I said, we are approaching this crime in a very, very integrated manner. We also have what we call the Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy, which is a war on crime, literally. Bringing effective criminal justice system, the victim support, early intervention rather than reacting, and safety through environmental design, active public and community participation. So we have heard you, we are on the roll. It's just that some other things are operational issues which we might not be able to tell you, but know that we are very offensive. For sure, we have seen in Makado where there was a success in terms of preventing some of the cash transit incidents. Let me now take the opportunity to request Comrade Becky, our ANC NEC deployee and member of the subcommittee, and also the Minister of Police to give us briefing on exactly what we are doing to combat the crime. Comrade Becky.
Thanks, Mapengo, and thanks, Comrade Paul. Good morning, everybody. It has been said, I'll just feel on what you have said, that we are trying to listen and as we take instructions from the African National Congress on the matters that are bringing fear to the people of South Africa. There will be few issues that will be under violent crime with some element of economic sabotage on those, and how are we dealing with that. So think of Zamazamas, that is illicit mining. There is a prominent one these days, which is cash in transit, especially the N12-1. Everybody speaks about the N12-1. And the abuse of women is one topic that we'll never stop talking about whenever we talk about crime. Zamazama issues we have been going on as the police, but also worked on the integrated approach, though the president soon will be talking on them because he has instructed the JCPS Justice Cluster to work as a cluster on it. We have been, but the president has instructed, and indeed we have finalized the structure that will be led by the police, the defense, the home affairs, and the state security on concentrated and concerted effort to deal with Zamazamas. That does not mean that we have not been dealing with Zamazamas up to this point. The complaint has been that we are dealing with the first level, with the lower level. We have categorized them from level 1 to level 5. Indeed, we have been dealing a lot with level 1, those people that you see them dirty, dusted, and all that getting there. But one thing that I don't know why it doesn't go through when it happens. We have moved up to the middle level. For instance, we've got 9 people that have been arrested who are middle class of some form on the Zamazamas. And those people, they own beautiful houses. When we visited their houses in Carltonville, all the furniture is imported. Is an Italian furniture in there. In their yards, there's some few Lamborghinis parked there, and you realize that these are big guns. There are 9 these guns, and the SIU has already attached 51 of their cars and 7 houses, and that could be up to the property on 38 million. So they are caught going as we speak. 6 of them will be foreign nationals, 3 of them are South Africans. So we're dealing with that. But we're also dealing with not just Zamazamas, the takeover of mines. As we have seen in Northwest, there is a mine that we have tackled. We've taken trucks, we've arrested the owner and all that. And 3 weeks ago, it happened in Limpopo, where we've taken machinery and equipment of 60 million rand. People that they run the company without license, without anything, and they put that kind of thing, a 60 million equipment. So we are. But President has said, don't deal with it as individual departments. Just go, and indeed we have sat down and we have given the budget for that, maybe won't be preempted because the president will have to be briefed by us as it come on that one. We are arresting people, continue to do it. And in Northwest, last 2 weeks ago, 18 of these people were found guilty. I think courts are getting a little bit serious. We found guilty, 18 of them, and were given six months, yes, or 12,000 rands. But usually they are warned and let go at that level, which has been the problem. And you could see that in Northern Cape, we arrested 867 of those guys. Unfortunately, there was no enough capacity of deporting them because all of them were foreign nationals, of deporting them back. And we are creating that. Hence, Home Affairs will be getting more money because it's their competence to deport those people back to their countries. But also, the head of the state in the Republic of South Africa, the president, and the head of government in Lesotho have spoken on the matter. There are follow-up meetings. The Minister of Police and Home Affairs in South Africa will be meeting their counterparts in Lesotho to say how do we compare notes of how do we keep those people that come here illegal and sending them back where they're supposed to go back, and without they come in the country without papers and all that, how do we take them back? But as I've said, there have been operations in the communities. Rivali is one of them, where we send our special forces, and one place is Jerusalem, where we went down in the old shaft, where we found that it was some form of a headquarters where there were cooking utensils and everything, there were blankets, there was some form of family kind of arrangement. They exchanged fire with us. When you exchange fire with us, we don't worry with you. We just accept the challenge and all that. So that's what has happened when it comes to Zamazamas, who are really troubling the communities, the community of Kagiso, Jerusalem in Kagiso. There is a new area where they're giving us a problem again, responding, is a pilgrim nest somewhere in Mpumalanga. There are 5 provinces where they're giving all this. That will be your Gauteng, your Free State, your Northwest, North Cape, Mpumalanga, No 6, and Limpopo is where this thing is prevalent. So that's that. We are working on it. We believe that with the integrated approach, inviting defense force where is necessary, but with all special task force and special forces of the South African police, working with the Home Affairs to put them where they're supposed to, because Home Affairs has a right in 48 hours to take them back where they come from. So that's an issue with Zamazamas. When it comes to the prevalent cash in transit at the present moment, I'm sure, well, when it happens, unfortunately, people don't talk much about the response of the police. That response started at Makado. I'm sure you saw what happened in Makado, where there was a 90-minute shootout. 90. You could have watched your Pirates Chiefs and until the match finishes, when that shooting going out. So we lost nobody there, and the criminals lost 19 people. And 3 days, 4 days in one place called Honspruit, again, there was a shootout. That shootout, the police, because of working with the communities, they came together with the farmers and shot those people back. There was a wrong information to say those people were shot by the farmers. No, you go and read the statement issued by the farmers to say they're very thankful of working with the police. Police were there from the beginning until the end, when those 4 were shot and 3 of them were arrested. These criminals, they came to Springs, and you know what happens in the M1, and one afternoon where there was shootout and the police came tops. They went to Etegwini, where they caused a little bit of a havoc in 3 days. You know what has happened there in Guamashu, and the police came tops. And the group of those that were killed, Guamashu, 3 of them were arrested yesterday in Phoenix. 3 of those guys were arrested in Phoenix with a long list of things that were carrying firearms, cars and all that, police uniform and all that. With the arrogance, they've got a money counting machine. So they regard this thing as a real business. They have even money counting machine. They're not just stealing, they steal and go. And we found some money on them. That's what happened yesterday. Another success of yesterday happened in Northern Cape. We arrested 7 Nigerians who were plotting and planning to assassinate the police. They want to assassinate the police because those police have hit them hard on the drug issues, and they're all illegal, those guys. So they are arrested and all that. So this violent crime, since we have reinforced and enhanced our intelligence, because that has been the complaint all the time, to say our intelligence is weak. Well, the head of intelligence is there. The CEO, the COO, and all operations are there. We're doing very well in terms of prevention. Unfortunately, there are many preventions that have happened, especially on the cash heist and robberies. But once you prevent, it doesn't make news. So people will always think that there is no such prevention and all that. We have arrested one of the top guys in Mpumalanga last week, who's a cash heist and all that. We have arrested one top guy, again, he's called Boy. His real name is Jabulani Dodo. He's known as a Boy. He's a very close associate of a guy called Bibi, who Bibi is Wellington Edane, who was arrested some time ago and all that. That guy has got long list of criminality and all that. So police are really working, assisted by the intelligence. For instance, last month again, we arrested a group of people that they went for jewelry in Eastern Cape. On their way between Buffalo City and Umtata, 10 of them were arrested with all the stock that they found. It was intelligence who led us on that. So on this violent crime, we have put the structures that are beginning to respond positively to these matters. The area where we still have to work harder on it, there are grounds that have been covered, is an abuse of women. You remember that there was a big cry about the DNA, the backlog of the DNA. At one time, the backlog was 241,000 DNA backlog samples. We have reduced that to 226. On the 31st of August, the report was that out of 241,000, only 126 that is left. So we are done with that backlog. And we have put the structures where they are dealing with the DNA issue to such an extent that we never reached that backlog again. There was an issue raised to say there were cases, women abuse that were thrown out of court because of the DNA. That is not very true. Even during the bad days, NPA worked with the police laboratories to say we have a ready case, here, only what is missing is DNA. Can you give us that DNA so that we go to court? That led to the 34,000 of those cases where there was a quick move on those cases so that those cases can go to court and be tried and all that. And we have done work very closely with the courts and the NPA on those matters. Basically, those will be things. But we have Operation Chanela. Operation Chanela is a saturation of the streets and those known areas. There are 30 top stations that are criminal in the country. We saturate those areas, especially the very criminal days in the week is from Thursday until Monday morning. Those are very criminal days. So we have saturated that. We started that on the 8th of May, and up to this point, every Monday, except today, every Monday, we meet with the national leadership of the police and give the feedback. From 8th of May until today, we have arrested 174,000 people that some of them, many of them are outstanding. A warrant of arrest on murder, house robberies, car hijack and all. If you look your stats of the last quarter, 3 months, those have become greener, including the murder, by the way, for the first time since 2012. It was for the first time that the murder has gone green, has gone under. That includes car hijack and all that. It's because of Operation Chanela, saturating the street, responding. Everybody's on the street. Police don't go off over weekend now. Station commanders, they don't know anything called weekend. They're on their stations and all that. So that's that. Responding, as Chair said, responding on the call of South Africans to say we can't allow the country to be co-governed with criminality. Last one on that one, you all know we have arrested one of the top criminals in Western Cape, a top criminal. What is very interesting about the top criminal we arrested in Western Cape, whenever we have a media briefing, nobody asks anything about him. Even the media, they don't come close to him to ask questions about that guy called Ralph Stanfield. Nobody asks any question about Ralph. When you open question about him, but Ralph, together with the wife, they are arrested. They've been trying to get bail. They haven't, and together. And Ralph has caused havoc there. There are people that are in exile. Took their families. They left the country because Ralph wanted to eliminate them, took their businesses and all. The young guy, very popular with his popular business there. I'm told that he's trying to come back because, but that's a situation. So police are responding, the system is responding, all of us were working together to make sure that we make life better for South Africans. Thanks, Mabel.
Thank you very much, Ndosi. Thank you very much, Chair of the NEC subcommittee, for those quite comprehensive reflections covering a range of issues in the space of combating crime in our country. I will at this stage invite comments and more pointed questions on a number of aspects that have been covered this morning. As always, I start on my right. This time, shall I start on my right? I will start on my left, rather. We just change the rules of the game this morning? ENCA, this side. Yes, go ahead, please. And then I'll come to you. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. My name is Moluku Mloto from ENCA.
Yes,
Moluku. Just want to, with regard to the illegal mining, this is not a new thing, Minister. The efforts that you are putting in place, yes, some would appreciate, but maybe tell us what's been the difficulty in cracking the back of the syndicate? What's been difficult? What exactly have you identified as the big issue that really would assist? And I recall earlier this year, you were in Stilfontein in Northwest. I was there with you as well when police arrested illegal miners who were found in possessions of automatic rifles. I think I remember 15 AK-47s. And I'm told that not even men and women in blue, not even the army in this country are allowed to carry an AK-47, let alone civilians. My question is, do we know how these weapons and many other weapons that really are infiltrating our country, do we know where they come from? Considering you as the police, your other duty is not only to fight crime, but to prevent it from happening. What is the difficulty in stopping these guns from coming into our country? Lastly, on the value chain, particularly with regard to illegal mining activity, somebody is buying these minerals. Do we know the destinations, the popular destinations? How are we working with
Thank you very much.
Sawubona. Si-right njani? Good.
Okay, look, when we talk about the Minister of Police, a lot of people have complained that maybe you should be redeployed somewhere. Obviously, you are a deployee of the African National Conference. Do you feel the comments that you should be removed as Minister of Police are fair? And would you consider maybe looking at asking the President maybe to redeploy you elsewhere? Then the second one would be, I mean, criminality in South Africa is everywhere. Let's not talk about cash in transit because that's even bigger. But you get people that are just not interested in following the law. They'll skip the road, they'll do whatever. Do you think that we're a nation, or we are becoming a nation that is it's just lawlessness? Everyone, including ourselves as well, with the drinking and driving, whatever that might be. Do you think we're becoming a nation of just lawlessness where people just do as they please? And maybe the third one would be, what are some of those steps that you are taking, I mean, especially now that we're going to December, about the issues of the cash in transit, if maybe there are any plans that you are having? And also, there was a colleague of mine who asked me to just put it to you that, AKA, how far are the investigations in terms of them, because they have not seen anyone being arrested. Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you very much.
Junior Kumalo from Newsroom Africa. Just a quick one. Are we also experiencing a crisis when it comes to prisoner escapees? Because we saw this happen, I think it was yesterday and a few days ago as well. Is there a problem when it comes to that? What are the things that are being put in place to try and reduce the occurrence of this?
Thank you very much. That was the question. So I am done with this side. Do you want to us to take it back to yourselves, Chair and Makai? Or you want us to take a second round?
No, let's answer this.
Let's answer this. Okay. I will ask the Chair. I will ask the Chair to handle the matter of Ndosi's deployment. I don't think that it is the we don't do that in the ANC. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the question. I'm going to take this one of the redeployment of the minister. Firstly, you know that the minister did not appoint himself. He was appointed by the president. And as I said, as the chairperson of the Peace and Stability, we are working together. I've mentioned the department that we are working with and how we have found a way of dealing with the issue. So at least we are refining our processes, and it's unfair really to put the blame on Comrade Ndosi when he's trying as much as possible to do the best he could do. As the ANC, we have a trust in him, and we're going to support him. As you see me here with him, we are supporting him. Me and him are not sleeping at all to make sure that, and it's us who said we don't want lawlessness, as you said. We don't want any lawlessness, and we're working very hard to make sure that we do that. So the success that you see other departments also having, like your border management agency and others, those are also some of his efforts that we can talk about. So let's not talk about an individual, as if he has appointed himself. That is not for him to answer. That's for us as the ANC. If we were not happy with him, we would have taken action. But we are helping him, assisting him to be able to do his job, because all of us are affected. Let me just leave others to Ndosi to just continue.
Thank you, Chair.
What different on the Zamazamas has been there for a long time. We started to act decisively on Zamazamas in the first special team to face Zamazamas was created in 2018 in Velkom. What happened in Velkom, these Zamazamas, they went to these old mines and they diverted both electricity and water underground that was going to communities. So we had to go and act there. Even as you listen today, you don't hear much about Zamazamas in Velkom, because it's where we started to channel them, to remove them out as the special team of TRT that was trained and deployed there. These deployments sometimes are quite expensive, because you move the team of police where they don't stay and put them either in a B&B or all that for some time. So we worked with the business, especially on the question of the accommodation, to keep that team there. We have moved some of the team to other places, but it's not a new thing, as I've said, that we have been dealing with Zamazamas. As old as when I was a national commissioner, I went underground, literally, underground. That was 2011. It was there, but not so prevalent as it is now. One problem that has done it to be so prevalent and so problematic is that those Zamazamas, they go amok even among and between the communities. They give fear to communities. Rivalry, two groups, they came to shoot one another, and doing that in the middle of the houses. Everybody in the house had to take cover. In the middle, there were windows that were short and all that, as they did Stilfontein, as they did in Village Green, in Krugersdorp, where they really go amok against the communities. That's that. The source, well, I've explained that we have just moved up a little bit, but that will be your level 3 and 4. Level 5 lives in Dubai. There where you live, level 4 live in Dubai. Some of level 5, they live in Sentin. I'm not going to give you too much story on that one, but I know for sure that there are investigations at that level going on, especially by the Hawks, going on at that level up there, as it has been said. That's evolution. The source of illegal firearms, basically there are 4 sources of illegal firearms in the country. One are those that cross the border, like those that Moloko we found in Stilfontein. Those clearly, as you say, there are no AKs here, they cross the border. But not only that we found, they will remember that we found sealed boxes of ammunition, that they had some stamps from different countries and all. They cross border, especially the neighboring countries. Hence, I've said the President of the Republic has instructed some of us in this cluster to speak with the counterparts in Lesotho. I have met the Minister of Police twice. We'll be meeting in 2 weeks again. Not only him, together with the Minister of Police in Mozambique, we have met, we'll be meeting again. That will be the first one, that illegally cross border. The second one, they come from, there is a funny thing here that is happening, that you'll find a company, security company, that will go under and nobody will account for their guns, and find that those guns, immediately it happens that way, they become illegal, because if the company is no more there, but the guns that were about 4,000, they are out there. That will be. The third one come from our unscrupulous and rotten potatoes from the security cluster. There are not too many, but they are there. For instance, the numbers that we have given that have lost to the police since the beginning of the year is 700. But you would argue that there are thousands and thousands of those firearms there. The fourth one, the bigger supplier are legal firearms from the individual South Africans that come out as a legal firearm, but that's why you go to school, you find that a young child of primary school has shot somebody, you trace the gun, is the father's gun. That's what will happen. But criminals, because they know we carry guns, they do it both to the police, but they also do to the families. They break house break. Main things that they cause house breaking and house robbery are firearms. Those legal firearms, they are converted to illegal firearms. So you are asking where are the source? Those will be your four sources. How do I feel? That one is answered. I would have loved to answer it, but it's just been answered. Lawlessness, as she read her introduction, she talked about the integrated approach to the crime. I don't care who says what. Security agencies alone, not working across the board in governance, will not deal with the crime. You know, last Friday, Friday the 13th, I was in Cape Town. I went to Hanover Park to meet the community there. It's a very high level of gangsterism. In the meeting, there were more school kids than parents. More school kids. I was asking them, why didn't you go to school? They say, no, Friday we don't go to school here. It's a norm. They say, no, we're tired now and all that. I asked parents, they say, no, they refuse to go to school. The crux of the matter, those kids are a good pool of recruitment by the gangsters. So that's why one pillar of this integrated approach is an early intervention.
Crime issues are tough.
One of those pillars is early intervention. Somebody was asking the question, when kids go to school starting grade 1 at million, and they write matric at 500,000, where is 500,000? Where is the other 500,000? As you look your crime stats, all central police stations in the country, without fail, are very high on crime, of break-in and the common robbery. Those are the kids, you and me, we call them amapara, because every third day they must get food. And those are the kids that are supposed to be looked after by the parents, are supposed to be at school, are supposed to be at work, but they're not there. So we'll have to work across the board at dealing with those things. The other one of the lawlessness. Last Thursday I went to eThekwini. I joined their Operation Channel. We went to Newland West in a shipping. It was 10 to 2 in the morning. Completely illegal shipping. The owner is arrested because he was chasing kids with gun, and almost more than half of people are underage as you see them. They are fighting, they are refusing. They say, tell you can't close here. They say, no, you can't close here. Shipping is illegal. People that are inside are illegal. Runners. So the question of alcohol in the country is one issue that needs to be handled with care when it comes to criminality. That's why crime will be high over the weekend. There are two crimes that are high over the weekend, is murder and rape. And you'll find that many people are raped as they come out of these nice places, but also people that come from there. After they have done all the damage in the shipping, they go and do this damage of abuse and all that. Is one area. So it's across the board the area of lawlessness. Prevention, I did say that we prevent a lot of these things. Unfortunately, that does not make news once it's prevented and all that. I can give you one day the list of cash heists that have been prevented and all those kind of things. And the organization working with the communities, because that's one thing that we have been big on doing, working with the community. Last week I met I met the farmers in Brits who were marching and all that, and then they gave their memorandum, were responding to it, but also we are working with them. There is a rural safety strategy that we are working. There is a committee that we work with and all that, which is one big pillar in reducing crime, working with communities. We are trying to do better on that on that one. Prison escape, maybe we'll bring Lamula one day to come and explain that. I've been initially no more now. I was asked about Bester, and I said, please don't ask me about Bester. We arrested Bester. He got life, Bester, but we found him in Tanzania again and all that. What I can say with the portion of the police, as we speak at the present moment, prisons are 44% overpopulated. That's above their population that is there. They're 44% overpopulated. And all those people, they don't go there on toi-toi. They are sent by the police. And many of them, they're doing very long sentences. I think about 21,000 of that 147,000 of them are doing life, which means a good police did a good investigation for a judge to give life sentence of 50 years and all that. On this one, I want to say one thing. I'm just adding. You know, media doesn't help us very much. I'm not attacking the media. I'll make my point. When there is a problem, they will stay there, which is good. But once the problem is resolved, nobody goes back to say the problem has been resolved. I've got two things to put here. Is Guamajola in Port St. John's. Nobody didn't know about that place. That when the night came, women would put the kids on their back and go and sleep in the bush because it was safe to sleep in the bush than the house. Everybody sleeps home now, and nobody tells the story. On June 16, for the first time after many years, there were tournaments of the young people, which was a demand of the community that allow our kids to be kids. The second one on that, I'm not going to say, there were stations that were camping in Gwamhlabialingana because Gwamhlabialingana was a hell, nothing but hell. People there were messed up, people there were killed and all that. Police have cleaned that area. If you ask anybody from Gwamhlabialingana, will tell you it's heaven to be here. We have arrested 147 criminals there. One of them, the top one, is doing 55 years. When Judah Mtetwa, one of the well-known activists, died there were big issues. But I've never heard anybody reporting about the arrest of those people who were arrested at Mpangen who killed Judah. So we would love to have that balance. Please hit on us when we are not doing our job, but when our job is done also, please say it. Those are the things that I will urge that we work together with the media. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, the AKA issue.
AKA issue has been answered time and again. I don't know, because Mkwanazi was very elaborate on it, saying we have found the cars, not one, that were used to attack and withdraw. We have found the gun. The gun has been found, there. We have identified those people and all that kind of things. We have found the preparation and all that. The fear on the AK thing is that it's a very high-profile case. So the team says when they act, they want to act on a very tight thing because they fear to arrest and let go and give us problem, as one case at the present moment is giving us a lot of problem of one soccer star and all that. So it's that one we believe for the fact that the cars that they drop those guys and pick them up, and the gun itself, and the gun has been found, ballistically has been found to be a proper gun. So I think we're very much on course with that case of AK.
Thank you very much, Ndosi. I'm going to move, in the interest of time, colleagues. I think we would be almost coming to a close, but I did anticipate that this would be stretched. So I'm going to start, your hand was first up, Shazi, and then my sister over here.
Good morning, Kosnati Shazi from Power FM News. My question, Mr. Minister, is regarding the census population report. So according to the census, there are now 62,027,503 people in South Africa. I just did a quick Google search. There are about more than 200,000 police officers, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. So basically, for every 300 South Africans, there's one police office. So my question is, we are heading into the festive season. Are the police officers concerned at the high rise of the South African population? I mean, 62 million is a lot of people. Like I said, we're heading to the festive season. And in this population, there are more than 2.4 international migrants. So foreigners, number 1 is Zimbabwean nationals, number 2 is Mozambique, number 3 is Lesotho, number 4 is Malawi, number 5 is the United Kingdom. Yeah, basically my question is that are you not worried about the population?
Thank you very much. Maybe when you do respond to us, you could just join it up with what our summer plans, even if they are tentative summer plans for December, which came from one of the colleagues. I want to then move to you, my sister.
Good morning, Minister. It's Bonso Mutsiba from Kai News. I just wanted to know, since the deployment of Amaperete in Deep Street, how much of a change would you say it's made in ensuring the safety of residents and just the level of crime overall as compared to before they were deployed there? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Lizega, I will suppress you also because I'll suppress you because yeah, when we were recognizing people, I think you were coming into the room or something. Sidi?
Thank you. Just two quick ones. One tied to the question he posed now around migration, and it's really for the ANC more than anything else. Does the ANC then take responsibility? What's the ANC, let me rephrase it, the ANC's attitude to frustration citizens have around migration? You have growing numbers of people coming into the city, into Gauteng, 400,000 now, many undocumented. There are questions around border security. There are frustrations in townships around sponsorship. There's just frustrations around enforcement of bylaws. The enforcement of bylaws. Does the ANC take responsibility for what we're seeing? And again, as you grapple with this ahead of elections, what are the thoughts of the governing party with all of that? And then just another quick one for you, Minister. He was asking about guns that are circulating. The issue of political killings, that has reared its head again. There are multi-party gatherings happening in KZN, time immemorial. But the one thing that keeps coming up is nobody believes that even the conversations that the political parties are having amongst themselves will yield anything. They themselves worry about guns from the 80s that were involved in 80s, 90s violence, still doing the rounds, not being connected. Your thoughts about that? We are heading towards elections. This party is going to this conference. Councillors have been gunned down, politicians have been gunned down. Your assessment of just the rise over the years, really, of interpolitical killings. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are you covered, Liza? So, the spokesperson, each other's spokespersons. Thank you very much. I think we'll end off with those. I will ask Comrade Chair to reflect on some of, including your question about the ANC's attitude,
thought
and
that-
then the rest will be tackled by Udos.
Can
Or we can
I
start,
start,
yeah,
please?
you can start, not a problem.
Tsiti naye, she came late, you
Came
should
late.
not have
But I
given
came for questions.
But we asked me
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I will tell you why, Josie. She was going to mess up my press conference, so I just relented. Go ahead, Nuz.
Is another one example, mapping that I'm saying, that when we respond, these stories are not told. 2018, President went to Maritzburg when Kashana Mchunu was killed. Councillors were dying every week there. And the leadership, officials of especially the ANC Youth League, I don't know what have done to who. President went there and says, not on my name, you go and stop the thing. We formed the IMC on July 2018. Since that has been formed, 348 people have been arrested, City. 348 people. Among people that have been killed, 52 of them are councillors, 34 of them are ANC councillors, and going down the ACTP and all that. That's that. Among those people that have been arrested there, 18 of them are doing life. 38 of them are doing years between 10 and 73 years. So, and one thing that has been discovered is both inter-political conflict and intra-political. Indeed, there are ANC people that have been arrested for killing, there are IFP people that have been arrested for killing IFP and all that. So, this thing to say is nothing happening there can't be true. When 348 people are arrested, and some of those people, 100 of them are in custody, 40 of them are on bail, 17 of them are dead. Among those people that have been there, and that team is there, continues. But the sharpness of the team has tempted us to broaden it. That team of political killing in KZN, they've cracked one case that has been notorious, the Fort Hare case, Tidi. You know that 6 people are arrested in the killings of Fort Hare, and is that team. That team has been sent to to Limpopo. They have arrested people, they have killed councillors, is working in Mpumalanga and all that. So there is a response. Indeed, that goes on of killing is still happening. But for instance, the people that have been recently killed in Nongoma, which happen to be one political party that is dying now, the NFP and all that, 2 of those people were found on the same night of the killing because of the saturation of that area and all that. So it does happen, and it was a broad kind of criminality. One person who was very much involved there is accused number 5 in the Senzo crime. That guy already is doing 6 life sentences. Who killed one councillor in Nongoma, Utami Nyembe. So is across the board. Those killers, they kill for politics, they kill for taxi violence, and they kill for cash heist to find them, and they kill, anybody can hire them. So I'm saying 348 of them have been removed. So you can't say nothing is happening. Indeed, have we arrived? No. But have we started the work? Yes, because of those people are arrested. That will be political killing. 62 million. In 1910, there were 50 million South Africans, and we had 195,000 police. Now we have 187,000, not 200. 187. The international ratio is 1:220. In South Africa, at the present ratio is 1:424. Thanks to the President, His Excellence, for a long time, that the policing matters are taken serious by this government under President Cyril Ramaphosa, who has given us, who said, you go and train this police. That's why last year we trained 10,000 of them. This year we're training 10,000. Next year we're training 10,000. So that figure, power, will give us a 2010 number, not 2024. So we still have to train more going forward, but at least we have started. That it has never happened in the history of training in South Africa that the colleges will 10,000. The biggest number would ever done would be 5,000. That's why last year and this year we're even using, this year we're using the army facilities to train police. We're using the correctional facilities to train police because it has never happened that is 10,000. That will help us also to deal with the special forces within the police. But one thing that we're doing to strengthen the police, we have opened the invite, especially of the detectives, to come back, those that they left with honor from the organization, to come back because it's one weak area where, and indeed, quite a number of them are coming back to strengthen the detective services within the police. Perez in Diepsloot, wherever Perez comes, calmness comes. The problem with the Diepsloot, this will come and calmness will come and go. At one time I went there and we arrested 2,000 undocumented people there, and they're all back. They were let go by some courts of law. Let them. They're all back. So we were found there. But one interesting thing, Yanks, is everybody will complain about the illegal people there, the criminals. But when you arrest them, you find a long queue of young ladies bringing them warm food. Yeah, a very long queue. They say, can you give us an opportunity to give them warm food and all that? And you'll find them on the march the next day complaining about the foreign nationals and all that. So the communities themselves must play some role on those matters. One funny thing there are things called shack farms, shack farms, there are people that build shacks and lease them to the foreign nationals, and they come and lead the march against foreign nationals when they collect the same rent from them. So communities will have to help us on those matters. The last one, which also is one of the pillars of these six, is environmental design. I don't know, I've been there at night. The big thing you find at night are mice, angag. When you move in there is a place there, there's an area called Extension 1 in Diepsloot. You can't see me, I can only touch you because it's dark. There are no streets, there are no roads, there are no numbers, there are no lights. So when anything happens in Extension 1, you can't tell the police where to go. You'll say you're Extension 1 and we'll find the crime scene the next morning because of the light. So if we say environmental design, we say fix the life of the people, build them proper houses, build them roads, give numbers, put everything for people to be. You know, this thing of death, especially Western Cape, I gave you figures last week. In a week, 129 people died there. But nobody, no dead body you find in Camps Bay, no dead body you find in Constantia, no dead body you find in Bishop's Court. Why? Because of the best kind of amenities and life that is there. If you fix this thing, environmental design, life will be much better and security forces will do less. But it doesn't matter how long and how big you saturate security forces. If those things are not fixed, life will not go better on that one. But for now, I was there last week patrolling. I went, there is a ship in, I don't know if you know, there is a big one. And there is a big ship in there. I visited it and all that thing, and they just proud on you. They give you some bottle of Savannah, say, can you have a sip and all that. Yeah. I said, no, I'll come back on December 25 for the sip of not. So that's that. We are working. It's not Deep Sloop alone. Azatville is one area. Remember what happened where people banned people and all that. We have also worked on. 14 people are arrested there. They are caught going and all that in Azatville. We are responding. And there are quite several people that are arrested in Deep Sloot and all those areas that are giving us that kind of problem. Thanks.
Thank you very much. We're going to then end off with the chair, just to respond to one or two other questions that are remaining, and then we will bring to a close.
Thank you very much, Comrade Tsidi. I said you came late because in my opening statement, I categorically said that we are concerned about the illegal immigrants that are in our country. And as a result, in terms of the ANC, peace and stability, we have South African Police Services, we have Home Affairs, we have South African Defence Force and Military, we have State Security, we have Justice and Constitutional and Correctional Services and International Relations. That's why we're working together to be able to deal with the matter. I even mentioned that a week ago the President launched the Border Management Agency in Musina so that we dedicate a force to be able to deal with this matter of illegal immigrants once and for all. But as Comrade Becky have said, we would need also the communities to assist us to be able to do that. As said, they house them and then they come and complain to us. And also in terms of Home Affairs, they're dealing with the issue of, the marriages that will happen for convenient so that they get the citizenship. So they are on top of it. And also the NGOs that keep on taking, you see, Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Mutali, so always in court because of the Pakistans, because of everybody, and you media, not even helping us to be able to expose this issue. Who's funding these NGOs that want to bring the Pakistans here and everything? The other one that we are correcting, and I will urge you to please get the white paper on immigration. It has passed, the cabinet is out there for commenting. Some of the statutes that we signed when we started with our freedom, we didn't know what they mean and didn't have conditions on it. So now they're coming to bite us. Like if somebody comes in, can come as an economic migrant, and you can't take that person back. But other countries, they're able to do that because they've defined in their acts who can come in, who can come out. So if you can look at the white paper and assist us in getting some of the ideas so that we're able to deal with this issue. So yes, we are very concerned. I said it up front, and we are dealing with the matter decisively so. Thank you very much.
That doesn't answer my question, sorry. I might have been late and I might have missed your concerns. My question is, does the ANC then take responsibility? The session from outside is you've allowed for the situation to fester, to become exactly what it is. That is your inaction over the years that have led to the situation that you are today concerned about. I'm asking for a response to that view, that the ANC is responsible for the things that it is now crying about, saying it's responsible.
How is the ANC responsible for?
People feel that you did not manage the borders well enough all along. You did not enforce bylaws as you should have. Did not deal with the issue of housing as you should have. Undocumented migrants. That's what I mean.
I'm just giving you what we said. Yes, we accept the illegal immigrants and what we are doing from going forward. But to say we are not doing anything or whether we should take responsibility, I think it will be fair on your side.
Mapping, just on the Christmas thing, the festive season, are we ready? Yes, we are ready. On the 15th of December, all 10,000 are coming out from colleges, so we'll be taking over our beaches and all that kind of stuff. President will be passing them on the 14th, and they're coming out. So we'll be better placed when it comes to the saturation and the presence. No police goes to the leave come festive season. We're walking on the beach. We're safe. Come and join us on the festive season on the Republic of South Africa. Thanks.
No, thank you very much, colleagues. With that, it is a wrap. There may very well be a few follow-up interviews per request on specific matters. We've noted the issue of migration. We know that that's a big burning platform for the ANC, particularly for the people of South Africa. And the ANC is stretching itself in terms of concrete actions to address that particular matter and be seen to be acting in a decisive fashion. And there would be, I suspect that in fact, I will curate a dedicated media engagement session on that particular matter at a time that is convenient based on the internal discussions that are currently underway in the NEC. I just wanted to also give that assurance in addition to what Comrade Chair of the subcommittee and what Comrade Ndosi has also said. But with that, any of those that may want follow up, please liaise with myself. We are done. And then just sorry.
Hi.
So just as a reminder that the live closing address by the ANC president is going to be live as a standard. It is initially set for 6 p.m. And it is